Entering United Colony space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Scan.
This place is a delightful relic tangled up with hope, grit, and science.
I hope you're having a good day.
Was just doing some
So,
math in my head.
The Unity awaits. I'm not as afraid as I thought I would be. Stepping away from the world you know can lead to a better place. I do not know if I would say the same. More that I accept it. I'm ready. Do you think we will see each other after the Unity? Will we even recognize each other if we do? I do too. But the emissary makes me doubtful. They are both the person we lost and someone else entirely. If we do not see each other again, then this is goodbye. I am proud that I was present for this journey. I have things I wish to discuss with you when you have time. I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know we met under, unusual circumstances. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them? I think none of us were expecting what we have found. Well, perhaps Matteo. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation? I cannot tell if that is a compliment or an attempt to avoid the question. I will assume the former. I have a very different background from the rest of Constellation. I carry myself differently. I worry that some of the others are unable to see past this. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death. Why should I be? It was necessary for survival. I would not be here otherwise. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite. No, but it seems to make things much, much easier. I envy that. I know this seems trivial, perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this, by a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense? And yet here we are, working together. And that has, I think, gone very well. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence. It would have been To some. Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me. So you chose to kill the emissary. I do not necessarily wish to second-guess you, but I do not understand your reasoning. On the surface, at least, the emissary seemed the more reasonable of the two options. A very calculated move, but I suppose I see the logic of it. I know that the emissary was not Sarah. At least not the Sarah we knew. But did their identity make it any more difficult? I can understand that. I never would have imagined we would see them again. And then to have it end like this. But now I suppose there is a single clear path forward. And it means working with the Hunter. I'm glad to hear you say that. I would not like to think you are truly siding with him. I want you to know that I recognize that you have been forced to make some unbelievable decisions. You are a valued member of Constellation, and an ally. I will trust your judgment and stand by you until the end. I am glad, and I am happy to give it. I know you have much on your mind, so I will not keep you further. But I will be here when you are ready to take on whatever is next. Can we speak for a moment? I suppose now you can add climbing the corporate ladder to your list of accomplishments. I must ask, though, are you not at all concerned with where future neuroamp research might lead? That does not answer the question, but all right. Why is it you are pleased with this neuroamp? For now, yes, but Ryujin continues their work, and soon others will have them as well. They may not share your values. They may go so far as to use their neuroamps against you. Do you not see that as a potential problem? Does it? You are, I am sure, at least passingly familiar with, any point in human history. Conflict and violence? When have those ever been a result of people interacting with one another without even bringing neuroamps into it? And what happens when Ryujin falls prey to the same tactics it has employed and loses control of this technology? Well, that makes your position as clear as it can be. I did not expect to be disappointed by this conversation, and yet here I am. Clearly there is nothing more to say. If you have the time, I wish to speak to you. All those credits. And you just handed them over to the Crimson Fleet. The pirates, the ones known for robbing, murder, and general betrayal, they will be good allies? Are you listening to yourself? It is at least refreshing that you acknowledge you were only thinking of yourself. Did you not think for a moment about the impact this will have on anyone else? The fleet is now stronger, and they will use that strength on anyone and everyone. That is abject foolishness. By that logic, we should just blow up your ship right now, since it will inevitably fail someday. I thought you were better than this. This is where you choose to have conviction, then. I find your decision disappointing, to say the least. It is a relief to know that the Terramorphs are being dealt with. But are you sure this Aseles creature is the right way to do it? I can understand that line of thinking, but even when talking about a species like the Terramorph, this decision means the Terramorphs will remain a threat for years to come, if not longer. And that is assuming it works at all. I suppose we shall. Not that it matters, since the decision was made. And I must say, I find it curious that you would agree keeping the Lazarus plant around is a good idea. It seems an additional, unnecessary risk. I'm afraid I do not share your optimism. If it exists, there is a chance it will be used as a weapon again. I find it even more concerning that the United Colonies will keep this information secret. They have enough power already. They do not need this in their arsenal. Well, it is good to know that this particular threat is behind us, and you have done a service to all who live in the settled systems.